Hey, welcome back. Have you ever been in a house, late at night, when the wind is just right, and you swear you can hear the walls whispering? It's a feeling, a chill that doesn't come from the temperature. Now, imagine that feeling, but you're not in a house. You're in the middle of the ocean, on a ship, and the whispers aren't coming from the walls around you. They're coming from the radio. This is the story of a distress call that still haunts the pages of maritime history. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. The date is June 1947, or maybe it's February 1948. The records are frustratingly, and perhaps tellingly, foggy. But the place is clear. The Strait of Malacca, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, a place of turquoise water and dense, humid air. Multiple ships, primarily American and British, pick up a frantic Morse code message. The operator is clearly in a state of absolute terror. The message is chilling in its clarity. All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and on bridge. Possibly whole crew dead. There's a pause, the crackle of static, and then a final, shuddering sentence, "I die." And then, silence. The ship sending this nightmare broadcast was the SS Ourang Medan, a Dutch freighter, supposedly. The responding vessels, led by the American merchant ship Silver Star, raced to the given coordinates. What they found defied all logic. The Ourang Medan was adrift, eerily quiet. A boarding party went across, and the scene they described is the stuff of pure, unadulterated horror. The entire crew was dead. Not just dead, frozen in postures of sheer terror. Their bodies were found on the bridge, in the chart room, in the corridors. Their faces were contorted, eyes wide open, staring at the sky, arms outstretched as if fending off an unseen attacker. Even the ship's dog was found, a snarl locked on its lifeless face. But here's the first bizarre detail: no visible wounds. No signs of a struggle. It was as if they were all struck down by an invisible, instantaneous force. And then, it got stranger. The rescuers reported a lingering, unnatural cold clinging to the lower decks, despite the blistering tropical heat. And some accounts mention a faint, acrid smell, like ozone and burned almonds, a smell often associated with certain poisons. The decision was made to tow the ghost ship to port. But before they could even secure the lines, smoke began to pour from the holds. The boarding party barely escaped with their lives. Moments later, the SS Ourang Medan was ripped apart by a tremendous explosion, so violent it lifted the hull out of the water. It then sank swiftly, taking all evidence, and all its dead, into the deep. No lifeboats were launched. No wreckage was ever officially recovered. The sea swallowed the mystery whole. So what happened on that ship? The official inquest by Dutch authorities was inconclusive, and the original documents have reportedly vanished. This vacuum of fact has created a tidal wave of theory. Let's walk through the possibilities, starting with the mundane. The most accepted rational explanation is a cargo fire. The ship was rumored to be carrying a dangerous combination of potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin. If seawater breached the hold, it could have created lethal hydrogen cyanide gas. This gas, colorless and deadly, could explain the asphyxiation, the lack of wounds, and even that bitter almond smell. The cold? A quirk of the gas expansion. The explosion? The unstable nitroglycerin. It's a neat, scientific bow on a terrifying package. But it doesn't fully satisfy, does it? Why were the crew's faces masks of terror, found in specific locations, not scattered in a frantic escape? Why the chillingly coherent, yet utterly desperate, final radio message? This is where the waters get murkier. Some researchers have dug deeper and found that there may be no official record of the Ourang Medan's registration in Lloyd's shipping register. No clear port of origin. Was it a ghost ship in paperwork as well as in fate? This has led to theories of a darker cargo. Post-World War II, the world was a shadowy place of secret movements. Was the ship part of a clandestine operation, perhaps transporting captured Nazi nerve agents or experimental chemical weapons? A leak of something like sarin or tabulin could match the symptoms. Or, going further into the fringe, was it carrying something extraterrestrial? A recovered object that activated, emitting radiation or an unknown energy field? It sounds like science fiction, but it persists in the legend. And then, there's the supernatural layer. Sailors are a superstitious lot, and tales of the Ourang Medan are told in hushed tones. The Strait of Malacca is ancient water, lined with jungles that hold centuries of secrets. Some speak of a malevolent spirit, a hantu from Malay folklore, that attached itself to the ship. Others whisper of a portal, a temporary rift in that patch of sea that unleashed something not of our world, something that drove men mad with fear before it took them. The final radio operator didn't say, "We are being gassed." He described a scene of silent, wholesale death, and then simply stated, "I die." It's the language of inevitability, of facing something beyond comprehension. Sitting here in my studio in New York, an engineer by trade, my mind wants to latch onto the cargo fire explanation. It's the most probable. But as a storyteller, as someone who grew up in Bangladesh with tales of the Bahula and the Bonbibi protecting those who travel river and forest, I understand that some stories resonate because they touch a deeper nerve. The terror of the Ourang Medan isn't just about chemical reactions. It's about the profound isolation of the sea. It's about the vulnerability of a metal hull in a vast, uncaring ocean. It's about the idea that your sanctuary, your ship, can become your tomb in an instant, and that the walls might just hold the echo of your final, silent scream. The SS Ourang Medan is more than a maritime disaster. It's a parable. It's a reminder that there are still blank spaces on the map, not of land, but of understanding. We send signals into the void, and sometimes the void sends back a whisper we cannot explain. The ship is gone, the crew is gone, the truth is gone. All that remains is the story, passed from sailor to sailor, from logbook to legend, a permanent fixture in the archive of the unexplained. Thank you for listening to this journey into deep waters. If you found the whispers in these walls compelling, help others discover the archive. Share this episode with a curious friend. For more meticulously researched mysteries from the edges of our world, subscribe to the Unexplained Archive wherever you get your podcasts. This is Ibnul J. Farabi for Light Not Studios. Until next time, keep wondering.